concept of a New World Order has been a topic of discussion for decades, with many believing it to be a secretive and powerful group working to control global events. Recently, the idea that this group is using global warming propaganda to oppress individuals has gained traction. While the notion may seem far-fetched, it is essential to examine the available information and consider the potential motivations behind this alleged propaganda. At its core, the New World Order is often associated with a small group of influential and wealthy individuals who seek to create a one-world government. This government would supposedly have complete control over all aspects of life, including economics, politics, and social structures. The idea is that this group would use various tactics to manipulate and deceive the population into accepting their rule. One such tactic, according to some, is the use of global warming propaganda. Global warming, or climate change, refers to the long-term rise in Earth's average surface temperature due to human activities such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation. The scientific consensus is clear: human-caused climate change is real and poses significant threats to the environment, human health, and the economy. However, some argue that the severity of the issue is being exaggerated or distorted for ulterior motives. Those who believe in the New World Order's use of global warming propaganda claim that the group is manipulating the narrative to justify draconian measures that would restrict individual freedoms and consolidate power. They argue that the emphasis on climate change is being used to push for policies such as carbon taxes, strict regulations on energy consumption, and even population control. These measures, they claim, would ultimately lead to a loss of sovereignty and the erosion of personal liberties. One of the primary concerns is that the proposed solutions to climate change would disproportionately affect certain groups such as low-income families or small business owners. For instance, carbon taxes could lead to increased energy costs, making it more difficult for these groups to make ends meet. Similarly, strict regulations on energy consumption could stifle economic growth and limit opportunities for entrepreneurship. By framing these policies as necessary to combat climate change, the New World Order allegedly creates a narrative that prioritizes the interests of the elite over those of the general population. Moreover, some argue that the New World Order is using global warming propaganda to distract from more pressing issues, such as economic inequality, government corruption, and social injustice. By focusing attention on climate change, the group supposedly creates a diversion that prevents people from addressing the root causes of these problems. This could lead to a situation where the population is more concerned with reducing their carbon footprint than with holding those in power accountable for their actions. It is also worth noting that some of the key players in the climate change movement have been accused of having ulterior motives. For example, certain individuals and organizations have been criticized for using climate change as a pretext for promoting their own interests, such as investing in renewable energy technologies or pushing for specific policy agendas. While this does not necessarily prove that the New World Order is using global warming propaganda, it does highlight the complexity of the issue and the need for a nuanced understanding of the various stakeholders involved. In conclusion, the idea that the New World Order is using global warming propaganda to oppress individuals is a complex and multifaceted topic. While it is essential to acknowledge the scientific consensus on climate change, it is also crucial to consider the potential motivations and consequences of the proposed solutions. By examining the available information and evaluating the various perspectives, we can work towards a more informed understanding of this issue and its potential implications for our freedom and well-being. Ultimately, it is up to each individual to critically evaluate the information presented to them and make their own informed decisions about the role of global warming propaganda in the larger narrative of the New World Order.